What's up YouTube? This is your daily dose of mental health, and in this video I will be discussing my own dreams and life pursuits and how this relates to my own current and past life experiences in relation to my own drug addiction that I had and my drug recovery I'm going through. Before I go any further, please like and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it because I want to spread the word as far as I can. And that is it in regards to that. So, in essence, I've noticed lately I've had more of a conviction to continue to make more and more videos. And I don't know if that has to do with the books I've been reading or if it has to do with me just being sober and wanting to spread the word more so to others. And not just different tips and how I became clean, but kind of breaking down the essence of the pathways it has opened for me in regards to finding sobriety, in my sense. And keep in mind, everyone's sobriety is slightly different than each other. That's part of it. And that's how I accept it. If somebody has to take, as an example, something like Suboxone to get off heroin or whatnot, and that's what works for them, and they're living a life that makes them productive and they're pursuing their life pursuits and living a happy and fruitful life, then that is great for them. So in this video, as I said, essentially I want to just kind of go over not just my routine, but also the inspirations I have drawn through my own drug experience. If you want to check out some of my other videos in regards to things that have helped me get clean in my recovery journey, in regards to kind of a progression through it, I've got videos. The drug I was addicted to was Tramadol, and really anything that was mind altering. But that's what I got my hands on the most. So anyway, what I wanted to do is, just so everyone knows, how I not only start my week, but what I do every day is I make a list of things I need to do. And literally it can be as simple as just having a piece of paper or a spiral. And what I want to express to everyone, for example, when I was in active addiction, I had no organization. And lately I've noticed I've had more of a conviction to really try to overcome those resistances we have, meaning I didn't like being organized in the past, and it's still a chore to be organized. However, I'm starting to conquer it and I'm starting to see results, meaning organization. And that can apply in anything, making sure you always have a pen with you, a piece of paper, always being prepared. I had problems with in my past to an extent, and I've noticed things like that give me even more positive, give me more of a positive mental health aspect in my recovery that I never really knew was even possible. So what I challenge you to do, if you are currently seeing this video and you are thinking about getting clean, first off, know that making it this far that you want to get clean, that is awesome, and you should, and if you try it, go for it. But know you will be met with resistances along the way, and I challenge you, when you meet these resistances, meaning if there's things in the past, the things you were wanting to try that you wouldn't do because either drugs were holding you back or you were anxious or you were thinking people would judge you, I urge you to try it. What can hurt in trying whatever you're doing? That is the whole point of why I created this YouTube channel. I was scared to death of starting a YouTube channel because I thought people would judge me and be judgmental, and I kind of still have that feeling. But through books I've read and whatnot, you only live once, and in the book I've been reading, I talked about it in a prior video, The War of Art. It's by Pressfield. He talks about those feelings of uncomfortability and resistance. Those are the things you should be trying to approach head on, because the worst you can do is, and if you accept it, is fail. Or, if it doesn't turn out well, you try it again, it will turn out well. And I want you to kind of have that idea with even your own recovery, meaning if you have a slip up, as I've said in the past, don't dwell on it, just move forward. You can't go back in time. Push forward. Yes, you acknowledge the slip up, don't deny it, and move forward with it. Another thing that I wanted to express to everyone: life does suck. at points. It can be a bitch. You will at some point maybe get laid off or lose your job. And that is one thing outside of recovery that I've noticed has been tough was, and I haven't really come clean with this, but when COVID all started and stuff, I am an RN. I quit my job because I was scared about COVID, and I'm totally open with that now. I was scared. I was scared for my now fiance. I was scared for my family, and I quit with the idea in my mind that, I'm quitting because I want to help them, be there for them as much as I can during this time if I don't get to see them anymore. And at the time that sounded okay, but now once I left the job and whatnot, for me, I've noticed that me staying busy, I get more done. For a while I was sleeping until 2 or 3 in the afternoon, just wasn't doing anything, going through the motions. So I have found through this time that is one thing that I need to do, is try to stay as busy as I can, stick to a routine, which leads to the next aspect of exercise. Exercise is huge. And I know for some people, if you can't join a gym or whatnot, that's one thing, but you can look up videos, if you're seeing this now, on doing exercises at your home. There's something called burpees, you can do push-ups, sit-ups. Getting that blood flowing is really critical, especially for me when I was first going through withdrawal. Yes, you just kind of have to get through that physical part of it, but the physical withdrawals will leave, and even while you're going through it, exercising in particular, with that blood flow, it'll only help. It'll help. It's kind of like a little bit of not a cheat code, but it helps enhance your chemicals in your brain, the ones that have been neglected for a while, like your dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. So I highly encourage exercise. And also, I wanted to hit on as well, do not overthink whatever your lifelong dreams and passions are. Meaning, if you're wanting to become a millionaire at some point in your life, if that's your goal, that's a common one that people say, but everyone wants that, I'm in a quick rich scheme of the lottery, things like that. That happens every once in a while to somebody, but realistically, if you really want that, it's out there to go get. You just have to put in the work in whatever your job is, and on top of it, if you have a side hustle, you just have to put in the work. That's just how you have to think about it. One of my lifelong goals and accomplishments, once I get back to work, I'm in the process of going back to work right now, is buying a house one day. And not just, putting down a mortgage, but being able to pay off a lot of the house, saving as much money as I can, and being good with my spending so I can enjoy it and not go into too much debt. That's one of my goals. And trust me, I wish I could have this year back of my life where I could have been working, and I wish I never became an addict, 2 to 3 years back. But what's done is done in that regard, and I can only look forward. I can't dwell on that past, because the more I do, the more I'm likely to have my mental health go down the drain, as well as not getting back to work and trying to work my ass off every day. So just know, don't overthink whatever you're trying to do, but also you can acknowledge what happened in your past, as I said, but just push forward through it, move forward. And I know it's easier said than done, but what are you waiting for? If you're trying to quit even something, this goes out to anything you're trying to quit. If you're trying to eat healthy, if you're trying to quit cigarettes, if you're trying to quit a drug, the best advice I can give you is just go for it. Just go for it. You already know whatever you're doing, if you're using whatever it is, if you're not getting anything done, using it's not going to help. I know it might suck for a while, whatever you're going through. You'll feel depressed, you'll feel lonely, and those are feelings you don't want to feel, but when you get through it, it will be worth it. Another thing, that's why I do these videos, because this is one part for me. I like spreading, as I've said, the daily dose of mental health, this channel that I started, and wherever it goes, it goes. But I know right now this is what one of my callings is to help others, or try to, or at least kind of self-talk in a way to myself. It helps me. Because I needed stuff like this when I really needed help in the beginning times, and it's a lifelong journey. Lastly, So I'm reading this book I talked about in the last video. It's by Pressfield, The War of Art, and there's so many good ideas in there for anyone who, and I didn't like reading in the past, but now I'm loving it. It's free on YouTube. I put it in the last link. It's called The War of Art. You can listen to the audiobook, but it talks constantly about the resistance in the muse. And essentially what fighting resistance in essence is, it's the most simplistic form, and it's just a beauty of the word itself in regards to anything. The resistance is, that anything in your life that scares you, that you're wanting to try, but you won't, that's the resistance, and it's overcoming that resistance. Meaning, if you try it, yeah, you might fail, but go back to it and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. It's kind of like when you're like, man, I know I should quit drugs, but I haven't yet. And you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then when you finally do it, you'll have that voice in your head saying, oh, go ahead and take one more hit, you'll feel better. And you don't do it. That's that resistance you're overcoming. You're facing it head on. And you can apply that to any part of your life, any sort of passion or inspiration you have in your life. The resistance is that thing that's telling you not to do it, or it's the thing telling you not to do it, or when you are doing it, it's that thing that you feel like giving up on, the resistance of it, go back to what you're doing. However, it's overcoming it. And overcoming that resistance is what matters. And you will have resistance every day for the rest of your life. So when you're conquering one thing and you become comfortable with it, don't think that resistance is going to go. You're going to have it every day, and it's a daily battle. It's a daily battle of the mind, body, and soul, in my opinion. And also, he talks about the muse, which is essentially the potential of where your ideas, your dreams, and inspirations come from. And this is one thing I wanted to talk on. I feel like one of my muses in life, once again, is just putting out YouTube videos for people to see. You know that. How do I describe the muse? This is how I describe it to you. You know that little voice or feeling you'll have. You can either have it in your head or your heart, or that gut feeling on the thing you should be doing but you don't do. And something, that's your muse. It's that as well. It's that inspiration or passion. If you've read that thing where you see somebody, you'll wake up one day and you're like, man, I'd really like to try this. I'd like to try something, but you don't do it. That's the resistance telling you not to, but the muse is a thing telling you try it. Try that inspiration. But the key concept with it is it won't come overnight. You have to work your ass off. That's my goal. Is you gotta recognize there will be rough times, there will be hard times, but you have to consistently work at whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And you're gonna have struggles along the way. That is part of it. But if you just keep chipping at it, every minute you have to look at it, every hour, every minute, every second. Every minute you're chipping at it, in particular with drug withdrawal and whatnot, or even wanting to apply for a certain job, but you feel like you'll get turned down, or let's say you get an interview for a job and you feel like, oh, I won't be qualified. What's the worst thing you can do? Go in there, put forth the best effort, and if you don't get it, okay, that's fine. Move on and keep chipping away, and something will work out for you. So that's this video. I just kind of wanted to give, it's just for anyone out there who is really who doubts themselves. Because I'm one. I still do it every day, and that's why I'm putting this out here to let you know you're not alone in that regard. It just comes down to consistency, trying your best, failing. If you fail. Like for me right now, I could quit this YouTube channel. But the point is, and I have in the past, you can see there's big breaks in between it. My goal is to put out 2 to 3 videos a week right now, and I have failed. But if I keep chipping away and just keep working at it, day in, day out, gyms will blossom from it. So you just have to put everything in perspective. So I encourage you, whatever you are wanting to do in life, or inspirations or passions you have, what's the worst you can do but try? You only live in this world once. A lot of times people's passions change when they're diagnosed with something, or when they have cancer or whatnot. Their whole life changes, not just not just physically, but also in a mental aspect of those things they were going to try. That's when they start pursuing it. So why not get a head start on it, and just you have to live every day like it's your last by having those long-term goals, but also having those short-term goals in regards to being consistent. Yes, and I know we need money and whatnot, which you should, but to the side, have your side hustle. Work your ass off, and you will have, I promise you, it will suck at points. It sucks for me, but you will have a more fruitful life. All right, y'all, that's it. That's your daily dose of mental health today. Please comment and subscribe. If you have any comments on things you're trying, or any passions or anything, or any questions in general, or you're trying to start, you're wanting to quit drugs, put a comment in there. This is non-judgmental. I don't judge anyone for anything. We're all humans and we mess up. All right, have a good night, y'all.